Hello there, hello there, hello there. How are y'all out there? It is your girl, Shauna Ray, and we are back with Boss Talk. That's bold, one of a kind, sensational superstars, and that's you. So I hope that you all had a fantastic week. I know I have had a hectic week, but hectic a lot of the times means good. So I hope that you are out there loving life and living life well and loving on your people and being kind. So tonight, I am really excited about the show because we have a guest who has a really good topic to talk about. So, if you read the pre show notes, we're going to talk about divorce, relationships, love, all those good things. So, I want you to holler at your people, contact somebody that you, maybe somebody that hasn't seen the show yet, and get them on here. This is going to be good. Call your girls, call your men's friends, all of them. Everybody needs to be understanding what it is to be in a relationship. So we're going to talk about that tonight. First, I got a tickle, so excuse me just a moment. Y'all know the water. WC, my boy Lucian Nehemiah, Well Connected Gear, Well Connected Entertainment, and Well Connected Water. So you better get some. You can reach him on the internet. Just put in Well Connected Entertainment, and all of the things that he does are going to pop up. I need some strength here. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I can't get this open. And I'm on live, so I can't use my teeth because that would just be rude and obnoxious. So I won't. But now I want to introduce my guest for tonight. My guest is Kamora Catrice Johnson. She's an author, speaker, relationship, and marriage coach. So Tamora K. Johnson's Tam, she is the author of a marriage changing book entitled The Marriage Policies and Procedures. And it's a devotional for divorced women who are on the road to putting the pieces back together, titled Life After the D. And recently, she became the lead author to the great anthology Life After Divorce, The Journey to Being Healed and Whole. Her passions lies within providing tools for couples to continue building or rebuilding the commitment necessary to sustain a thriving marriage while being an advocate for women who have encountered the traumatic experience of divorce. She finds great joy in helping them to do the work in the journey of being healed and whole. Tam believes that her transparency can be someone's road to recovery, thus using opportunities to share her story. Her greatest value adds to those assigned to her purpose is the offering of the missing ingredient that she personally lacked before exchanging her own marriage vows and finding herself divorced. After going through the journey of becoming healed and whole herself, Tam did the steps to dating again, hence now being coined as a dating coach. Tam's coaching style is a very hands-on way of delivering what dating truly is, but beginning with dating yourself before you date someone else. And I think that is great advice. Tam was married 14 years before she and her husband separated and divorced. Even in that season of her life, she decided to use it to capitalize on giving God glory and encouraging others that there is life after divorce. This is when and why the Woman's Devotional was born. She knew that she couldn't be the only divorced woman attempting to put the pieces back together. Tam has 3 beautiful daughters who have occupied a front row seat in witnessing her to be an exceptional example of a mother, wife, and leader. It is her life's mission to mentor, advocate, and improve the state of marriage entity on a global level, beginning first with being a happy, healthy, and whole woman, and for some healed individuals. In her journey to making an impact, in spite of her experience, she co-founded the Beautiful Minds Foundation, where their mission is to build a strong sisterhood of women entrepreneurs and visionaries, providing them with the best networking opportunities and resources necessary to build and run a sustainable business in our local communities. Her overall mission is to serve. So, without another word from me, please welcome to Boss Talk, Tam Johnson. Hello.
Hey, y'all.
It's
Hey,
so good to see you.
it's good to be seen. Listen, it's good to see you as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, my gosh, we haven't seen each other since your amazing event in
Yeah.
Gardena,
Yep.
which I loved. I
That
loved
was
the
Inglewood.
concept. That was Inglewood. Okay. I love the concept and the title.
Yes.
It was Denim Date Night.
Yes.
Yes. And the theme was for everyone to wear denim so that they could be relaxed and cooled out, no airs, and just get
Absolutely.
down to some real business, right?
For sure. Yes.
I love
Absolutely.
it. So Tam, what made you come up with that evening, and tell the bus talkers what that looked like for you before it became a thing?
It didn't look like anything to me, okay? This was all per God. I promise you. So it's so funny listening to you read my bio, right? I'm like, wow, okay. Um, that event, the denim event, that was when I say God said do this, because I was so accustomed to doing things for couples, right?
Right.
Make It Rise, my business, Make It Rise, was founded on marriage, and so
Mm.
that's what I was accustomed to doing until I had to experience divorce, and then God had to put
Mm.
me in a different vehicle and show me that there's other things to do under the umbrella of marriage, right? And so
Yes.
as I always share, I had to back out of that thing. So it's like I started at the end and then came back so that I can experience what it really took or what it takes to get to the I do. And in doing that, he showed me, there are people who want to say I do. They want to get to that, but there's a lot of things that we just haven't been told or taught to do. People haven't shared or shown us how to do what we need to do in order for us to be in a healthy marriage. And so he began to pour things in me about being single, dating, and just all of these different things that comes to just the individual. And
Mhm.
so that event, Denim Date Night, was built on that for the singles, for us to come and just share and know that there's a place for us all. It's not just you that's wondering, hey, what am I doing wrong, or am I doing any wrong, or what do I need to do? And not even that, just some assistance, some guidance, hearing other folks' story, and
Yes.
understanding that it's not just you. And like you said in my bio, one of my things I say often is that my transparency is someone's road to recovery, right?
Mhm. I love
And
that.
when we are transparent and open and available to share the things that we have experienced in our lives, per God, like, so my thing, I had to learn the hard way. I was willing and ready to tell everything, right? But I had to learn that sometimes with what I'm sharing, I can hinder more than I'm helping. So I had to make sure that God was saying, yeah, tell that, or nah, not just yet. So, we have to be mindful of what we're sharing before we release some things. So in that event, there were a lot of folks that were married, divorced, people that were single, um, ready to mingle, right? Just ready to take in. And I believe I accomplished the goal that I set out for that event. So I think you're froze. I'm not sure if I am froze here. Yeah, so I'm going to keep going and keep talking until you come back in. And hopefully it's not my side. Hopefully we can get this thing going. But first let me say I am so appreciative for an opportunity such as this, for you giving me the opportunity to come to your platform and share what it is that I do and share about relationship and divorce and marriage and all of those things, and especially divorce. And I say that because not that I am an advocate for divorce, but because I know that that is one of the conversations that's hard to have. You know, people don't want to talk about divorce because of the bad taste that it leaves in our mouths. But the truth is, it's reality. You know, it is real that people are not making it nowadays. There are some things that platforms like this should be able to share that will help us avoid having to be at divorce court. And so when I say that I am here advocating, I am advocating for healthy individuals, healthy relationships, healthy marriages, not divorce. I'm not advocating for divorce. But if you find yourself there, it is imperative that you do the work for you to move forward as a healthy individual. You guys, Miss Shawn LeRae, your host, is calling me. Let's see what's going on. Hey, lady. What happened? I'm still live. I'm still live. I am. I was just still rolling until you were able to get back in. Okay. Yeah. So her internet is doing something a little funky, you guys, but I'm her guest host, I guess. My name is Tamara Johnson. For those of you who are just getting in, I want to say welcome with to the show, Boss Talk, with Miss Shawn LeRae and now me, Tam. She's back and she's gonna run it. Go ahead, girl.
Well, thank you. Now that's what I like, a real live diva who knows what to do. Come on, girl. Thank you so much for carrying on. I don't know what happened, y'all. The internet just went poof. Oh my goodness. Well, hello there, all of y'all out there. Let's see who's here before we go on, Tam. There's Erica. Hello, Erica. Thanks for joining us. Okay, and I don't know what that means. Do you know what that means?
I don't know what it means. It's a typo. Okay. Oh, I can hear you, Tamara.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you, Tam. I think it's Shawn LeRae. We're with you. Thank you, T. Thank you very much. She was handling. Oh, I knew she's quite capable. I appreciate it. Okay, so go ahead, pick up where you were, and I'll catch up.
Yeah. So I was just explaining how I am an advocate for healthy relationship, marriage, right, and marriage. But I also right now my niche is, divorce. And people think, wait a minute, how is it that you advocate for marriage, but now you're talking about divorce? And my thing is, I'm not necessarily talking about divorce. I am talking about being healed after the experience of divorce, yes. Right? My goal is to help a woman or a man. Really, right now, God has given me women. He has not given me men to literally do one-on-one with. And I know why, and so until he gives me to go ahead, I'm strictly with women as it relates to divorce. But my goal is to hold your hand and to show you how to do the work as you begin the process to healing and to becoming whole, and understanding that it's a process. You don't just arrive there, right? I like to use the example of when you're at the mall and you're at the kiosk and you see the sign that says you are here, right? You may want to get to Macy's, and so you see it down the way, but there's a walk that you're going to have to take. And we cannot allow ourselves to get distracted by the stores that are on the outskirts of what we see, right? So you may see, Bath, Bed & Beyond, and you may see JCPenney's and all these other stores that you like to frequent. But if your goal is Macy's, we have to stay focused, laser focused on what the goal is. And too often we get distracted and we begin to stick our heads in these other stores, and we slow down the process of becoming healed and whole. So my goal is to remind you that there's a goal, sis. Come on, let me grab your hand. Let me tell you what it is that I did, what it took for me, blood, sweat, and tears, in order for me to become, and I'm not even going to say I'm healed with the ED. I am still continuing to heal because in this process and journey of where I'm at today in dating, there's some things that I never would have learned that I still needed to work on until I learned that I still needed to work on that. Does that make sense?
Like, yes, I always say you don't get it till the minute you get it. And that is when you get it. and that's okay.
Yeah. I love
Right.
it. I love
So
it.
I love the permission, that you're
Yeah.
giving women permission to
Hmm.
feel everything they feel, to hurt in all ways that they
Yeah.
hurt, but letting them know that healing is in the offing, and all you have to do is look and keep your eye on that prize. I
That's
really
it.
love that. Well,
Hmm.
listen, so I know that the event that I attended and got a chance to chat and speak at was denim date night, which I loved, and I'll tell you all the reasons why.
Okay.
Number one, because you brought the men in, because I think it's important for women to hear from men,
Yeah.
right? Because we can have our own ideas about what it's like to be them, or to date, and to be in a relationship, and even
Yeah.
to go through a divorce, but we
Right.
never hear from them. And so I appreciate that you invited the men, and that some of them came. I
Thank you.
love that.
Yes.
And that it was an open conversation, and that you actually had married people there who have dealt with some of the things that people who have been
Yeah.
involved in relationships that ended in divorce, that they may have experienced, or did not experience, and didn't know that it was even a thing, right? So they
Right.
didn't even know that this is what marriage can look like.
Right.
And so I love all of the whole fullness of the event. I
Hmm.
really
Thank
do.
you. Thank
So
you.
when you're coaching a woman who has just say she's coming off of a divorce, and she wants to jump right back into the dating pool, what is your advice to someone who's feeling that way?
Yeah. So while it's not my business to say you're not ready, right? I give her the opportunity to share some things that says I am ready, right? And 9 times out of
Okay.
10, when you feel as though you're ready to jump in, it's the line of questioning, right? So, have you dealt with the divorce, the breakup? Have you dealt with that? And what did that look like for you? What was the dealing like for you? Was that you coping in an unhealthy way or a healthy way? Because many times we cope in an unhealthy way, which says, I'm just going to keep moving, right? So that I don't really have to face and address what it is that I have actually encountered, right? And so we don't give ourselves permission to just sit in that thing and feel it and cope in a healthy way and say, hey, listen, this is where I'm at. This is what I'm feeling. And until I work through some of these emotions, I am probably not ready to put myself back out there, because an unhealed woman will hurt a healed man. An unhealed woman will hurt a man that is in a position that wants to lead, that wants to provide, that wants to protect, because we're going to go in with the mindset of, you have to be a piece of my peace. You have to be a portion of my healing agent. And if you aren't able to say that I am on a road or the journey of healing, you may go in saying, I am healed, right? And your
Mhm.
response to the things that he is going to bring to the table is going to help you sabotage everything that could have been amazing.
Absolutely. We'll turn up the fire and the motor all at once, and lead you right in a direction you definitely don't want to go. I love
Love
that,
it.
because I love that you allow the woman, or whomever it is,
Yeah.
to test their own self, right? To
Mhm.
test, to check in. That's the word I
Yeah.
was looking to check in with themselves, to see, are you really ready? And nine
Right.
times out of 10, if you say to somebody they're not ready, and they really think they are, whether they really
Right.
are or not, they can't
Right.
hear what you're
No,
saying.
ma'am. No, man. One
I
one thing
love.
that I one thing that I tell when people ask me, well, how many relationships have you saved? How many marriages have you saved? And then I go 0. And I say
Mm,
that because I didn't do the work. The
right.
couple or the individual did the work. I
Absolutely.
reminded them of what was placed in them. Everything you need is in you or right at your fingertips. I'm at your fingertips. You've
Mm,
already been granted with what you need, the tools that you need. And sometimes all we need is someone to say, oh, no, sis, you're using the hammer in the wrong place. You actually need to use that over there. You have the tools, you've been equipped. So I don't
mm.
save relationships. I don't save marriages, right? I remind you that you have the power to do it yourself.
Absolutely. I love that. And I love the hammer analogy, because
Mhm.
a lot of times we are using the wrong tool,
Yeah.
right? there's an issue here and we're using the wrong tool. There is a tool for that, but
Yeah.
you're not using it. You're using this one, and this one is for that. It's like it's like taking your butter knife and screwing in a screw into something, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It might work a little bit, but there's
Mm-hmm.
one that works better, and it's
Yeah, the one
already
that was
built
created for
for
it.
that. Yes, that was
Mhm.
created just for that. Well, let's see what they're saying out there. Oh, my girl, Kimberly from Panama is on with us
Oh,
tonight. Hey, girl. Erica says hello. Hey. Kimberly said, yes, we definitely need to include more in the conversations. Kimberly says, yes, I call it a different face, same drama. I love it. Exactly. Florence. Hi, Florence. Let's see.
hey, Flo.
I love it. Autocorrect. Thank you. Thank you. And Erica said, that's good. I love it. Well, let's keep the conversation going. Thank you all for
Yes.
joining in. If you have any questions for Tam, please go ahead and type them in the chat and we will come back and get those. So,
Mhm.
Tam, when you were on your own healing journey,
Yeah.
what do you feel was the thing that let you know that you could do this? Because I know there
Mm.
had to be times when you felt kind of flat.
Oh, yeah, often. I felt flat daily, right?
Mhm.
But what I had to commit to was commit to the commitment. And the commitment for me was to get through it, right? I didn't know what it looked like to get through it, right? So I did, initially, I coped in an unhealthy way until as time went on, I realized that I was just spinning in circles. I was
Mm.
doing the same thing. It was looking different, cut my hair off. I was just doing stuff to look different, but the inside, my core was still the same. It was
Mhm.
still broken, right? And so, what I had to do daily was look in the mirror and tell myself that I can, right? Just
Yes.
affirm myself every single day. I have these rocks that are in my sink now as a result of that. And there's one that says faith, love, peace, understanding. There's all of these different words that spoke to me. And so
Mm.
I would use a word a day and I create a sentence. And that is the sentence I'd say to myself every single day throughout the day. Throughout
Oh,
the
I
day, whatever that sentence was, I'd write it on a post-it. I put one in my car. I put one on my desk, and I typed it in my phone in my notes, right? And anytime I began to feel flat, those were some of the words or sentences that pumped me up, right?
mm.
Along with saying everything that you do, you're doing it unto the Lord. And
Oh,
that scripture rang a bell with me every single day because if I am doing whatever it is for the Lord, if I am getting up for Him, I'm not
mhm.
getting up for Him with this attitude that says, I don't want to. I was making sure that I dressed the part, right? People weren't able to look at me and say, oh, she's going through a divorce. They would never be able to tell. And so I chose to. That's what I did.
That's
What
it. That's it.
what helped me was making a choice. I
Woo!
chose to be in a place of healing. I chose to be in a place to become whole again. I chose to look back, pull the pieces from off of the shelf that I once placed there because no one told me that I didn't have to set myself and who I am as an individual to the side to be a wife and to be a mother. They didn't tell me that. So I had to choose to be all of Tam again and walk through that thing.
Mhm.
So choice. I
Mhm.
made a choice daily.
I love it. And you know what I love? A lot of times people don't even know that they can make a choice.
Yes,
You know?
absolutely.
Absolutely. And when I think about a choice, you're talking about divorce, which is a form of loss.
Mhm.
And I underwent loss. I lost my husband, my king, my William Joseph. And I felt disoriented. I felt
Yeah,
like whose life is this anyway? I felt like I didn't know how to move because we
yeah.
were so in sync that we moved as one.
Mm.
But what I realized is that I got to make a choice to continue my life in the way that he would have wanted me to continue it, in the way
Yeah,
that he kind of set me up because he was like the wind beneath my wings. And
yeah,
so I choose joy. And so that's who I am. That's who he was. That's who we were together.
yeah,
And so every day I get up in the morning and I have my little moments because he used to be right there.
Right.
But every single day I remind myself that I get
Mhm.
to choose joy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
joy, and therein comes my healing. Now, definitely, there are those days when I don't want to do none of it.
Right.
None of it.
Absolutely.
I don't want to.
I don't
But,
want to. And
and
that's
those
okay.
days are fine. Absolutely, there.
That's
That's right. And so, I think that it's important for people to understand that they have a choice, because I think that a lot of times, like if you watch your mama go through a divorce, she did it this way.
Mm-hmm.
And if her friend had a divorce and you got to see that, they did it this way.
Right.
But I love that you are helping people to understand that you have a choice that isn't any of that, but that
Right.
fits you.
Absolutely.
Mm,
Absolutely. I like that.
yes.
One thing that I had to, and recently, maybe within the last year, I've been divorced 3 years, 3 years, going on 3 years. And one thing that I had to tell myself is I was teaching my daughter how to be divorced instead
Ooh,
of teaching her how to love and how to be loved,
ooh,
right?
that's so good. That is
Because
so
I was so much in a place of making sure that I healed from this divorce that I wasn't showing her what it took not to get to the divorce, right?
mm,
And so I had to stop, press pause, and be intentional about pouring into my baby what she deserved and how she should be as a young lady. Stepping into this thing called relationship and knowing who she is and loving herself first and introducing who she is to a young man, right? And her expectations and all of those things, instead of teaching her, if you go through, this is what you do. That's
yeah.
what I was giving her
Mm,
unconsciously,
mm,
right? So I had to say, no, Tam, consciously and intentionally show
mm,
her how to love herself, show her that she's worthy and she's worth it, right? In
yes.
everything that she does. And so I had to switch that thing around like quick.
Mhm. Absolutely, absolutely. And I love that, because now we can all look and say, okay, there's another young lady who knows her worth,
Yes.
who's
Yes.
going to come into this thing well equipped. Because so
Yes.
many of us don't.
Absolutely.
We come into this thing and we don't know. And like you've said many times, nobody told us that it was going to be this. Nobody told us that what it was going to look like, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I appreciate that you are teaching your young women, and so many others. Uh, oh, hey, that's Chef Nico. That's my nutrition coach. Hey, brother, from Montclair, New Jersey. He says this
Hey.
conversation is very important for women and men to have health connections. Yes, absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. And Kimberly said, OMG, I totally think cutting our hair is a part of our toolkit. I've done that twice after two separate
Right.
relationships.
Exactly. Cut the hair.
I'm going to
Cut.
recreate myself. I'm going to
Yeah.
recreate. She says, yes, queens, choice is everything. It takes us to go through those various valleys before we realize that we actually have a choice and that it's our choice, not anyone else's.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
LaRonda says, I love it. Thank you. Link chat. Mr. Pepino? I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
Probably.
hello. Welcome to Boss Talk. So, let's get into some more of this, Tam, because I'm loving this conversation. Oh, I have to show y'all my shirt. Do y'all remember the My Black is Beautiful campaign
Oh
that Essence
yes, I
did?
love it. I love it. And guess what? It is. Your black is
Thank
beautiful.
you.
Queen. Yeah.
And yours as well, Queen.
Thank you.
So, when did you decide that it was that you would get to help other people through this process? When did you decide that?
Mm. When I realized that I was too embarrassed to go and get help for myself, um, and the reason that it took me so long to begin the journey was because of embarrassment, right?
Right.
Because I felt less than, because I felt that I had let so many people down. I said, I need to be what I needed when I was going through the journey for someone else,
Mhm.
because I didn't go through the journey for myself. It was for the someone else's, right?
Yes.
And that is becoming so much more vivid for me. Um, each woman that I talk to, regardless to what scale it's on, I am learning that I went through that for you. Like, I went through that for a time such as this. And when I say that at least 4 times a week, that helps me to be selfless and vulnerable and able to share my story, to share, because I want women to understand that, yes, Tam went through these things, and you may not go through it the way that I did, but what I want to say is there is hope. What I want to say is, yes, you can. What I want to say is, you got this. What I want to say is, let's make it rise, right? All of those things I'm going to say to you by sharing what I've gone through, and or either just listening to what you're going through, because some women don't want my advice. They just need to get it out, right?
Yes.
I'm just sometimes a vessel that's trusted. Yes. And I've been told, Tam, I really don't want to talk about it like back and forth, but I need to get it out. And I believe that I can trust you to hold it, right? And I don't take that for granted, and that's why oftentimes I say, I got to make sure I'm praying so that I am available for it. I have to make sure there's days where I fast, where I kind of pull back a little bit from some things. And I feel guilty when I don't do it as often as I should, because I don't want what God has given me to be taken, and not used properly, right? Somebody's life is at stake. Right. And I know it sounds like that's a lot of pressure, and it is, but God gave me that mantle. So maybe for someone else it's too much. It's not too much for me. When I'm in self, I may be like, this is too much. I don't want to. But when I think about purpose, when I think about who I am and not what I am, right? When I think about who God created me to be and not what he created me to do, I have to bring all of that together and understand that this is where he has me, and it's for a purpose.
Absolutely. For such a time as this. I love it. I say that all the time too. And, I appreciate what you said, a vessel. As a therapist, many times we call ourselves a container. Like, we are a container. We are not here to advise you, to point this direction, that direction, to judge, to tell you what to do, but we're here to contain for you whatever it is that you need to get out. Get out. Right. And we can teach you how to pick in that container and take out the things that work for you, that feel good, that are healing, and everything else we help you put in a little package and put it aside because you don't need it. And I think that sometimes as we go through things, we recognize, okay, this is good, because a lot of people are going to advise us, right?
Right.
Well, I'm glad you did that. You should have done that a long time ago. Oh, girl, no, he wasn't. Divorce is not in the Bible. Like, there's so many folks that have some things to say, right? So you have to be really conscious of what you take in.
Yes, absolutely.
So I'm so glad that there is someone like you.
Thank you.
Who the information that you're giving is God breathed, God centered. And I love that you let God be the center of everything that you do.
Yeah,
because
that's my goal. That's my goal.
Not be that. And I love the intention behind it. I love that. My girl, Miss Diana, is here. Hello, Diana. Yes, our choice. Absolutely. Hi, Linda. Yes, girly. Do you know Linda?
I don't think so.
I don't know Linda.
I didn't catch her last name.
That's just like, I don't know what that is. Linda Sam.
Oh,
well, welcome to Boss Talk, Linda.
Yes.
So, Tam, I know that you do these coachings one-on-one. And do you do group coaching as well?
I do. So I will. Let me say that. So my online course is group, right? However, I will go out to location and do a group coaching session as well, and pretty much in person do the same thing that people are able to take online. I personally the online thing came about because of COVID. But I've always been a very hands-on type of chick. So I want to feel your energy. I want to look at facial expressions, right? But one thing I have learned during this pandemic is to trust what God has given me. I believe that a lot of times I was trusting what the body language said, what the facial expression said, more than what I was trusting that God had given me, right? And so if I can't see your face and all I can do is speak or wait for a response, it's like I just gotta trust, just go, right?
Right.
And I'm actually grateful. Oh, I am so grateful that I had to experience that, because it put me in position to truly understand what God had given me. I think I'm gonna be honest with you, and this is no pat on the back, but it is, right? I had to learn. I've learned over the past few years, like, I am a pretty dope chick. I'm that dope chick that people had been talking about, right? I have begun to see it and appreciate it, right? Because before, it's just what I do. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, like no biggie. But I had to look at that thing and say, no, take that serious, because people are using, the things that you are sharing and that you are doing and you're giving, and it's life changing.
Yes.
That's big. That's major, right? That's major. And it's such a great feeling, not boastful at all, because God gets the glory in it all. And I'm not perfect. There's times where I got to look in the mirror at myself and take my own medicine, right?
Yes.
A few times.
Yes.
A few times. And say, okay, Tam, you're teaching the right thing, but I need you to walk it out a little bit more, right? Mm-hmm. And so over these past 3 years, I have been able to look in the mirror and not out the window, right? And work more on myself and not point the finger at others and tell them what they should be or should not be doing.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And you know what? I love that you have gotten to the place where you're able to say that you're a dope chick and know that and know why and where that comes from. Because I know that that it's God. And you're doing His work. And it's not anything that you woke up one day and decided I'm a dope chick. No, God poured into you all that you would need for the assignment that He had given to you. Mm-hmm. I love that. Thank you, Erica. I think we just said bye to him. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, she says, you mentioned self-worth earlier. Thank you for that, because so many of our women are lacking self-worth and look to social media for approval and their standard of what they should look like. Thank you, Kimberly. 100%. 100%. Can you speak to that and how that has that, or how would you deal with it if it entered in? Because so much of social media, people really, really take that thing to heart.
Yeah.
And it can be so damaging. I see it all the time in my practice, and not just with teenagers, grown folks.
Grown folks.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. It's extremely sad. At first it comes off as cute. When you see things such as relationship goals, right? And I like to say, I did a workshop some years ago when I first started doing this in my house. I think it was like 6 ladies, and it was called Picture Perfect, right? And I shared at the time, I talked about how we can look at a picture, and I'm sharing the picture that I actually like. But how many takes did it take for me to get to that perfect take, right? Social media has given us the opportunity to share what we think is best, right? We do angles, we do filters, right? We add different things to it. We change the lighting. We do all of these things, but we neglect to say, but prior to this, the before, and this is the after. Here's the before, right? Here's all the blemishes. I would be the first to say, I have alopecia. This weave is not just because I want to, right? It started out as a cover-up until I truly learned my self-worth had nothing to do with a little spot that's in my head. My self-worth came from the stuff that I'm worth, and not the stuff that I'm worth, right? So when we look at social media and we begin to put ourselves in alignment with what we see, we don't consider the things that people had to go through. Some went through surgery. We don't consider the things that they had to go through. Some say, because I want the folks to think that When we click off of social media, we're going through some things that tells us I am insecure, I am not beautiful, I am not understood. All of these things that we have to face, unfortunately,
Yeah.
because social media hasn't said, but let's be real. It's social and it's media, right?
That
Reality
is.
is,
Boom. The two things. Yes.
yeah, social
Yeah.
for the folks and it's media, right? So how often do we turn on the television or something
Yes.
and we're watching a show and we're so engaged in it and we begin to create a story around it for ourselves? We have to be careful with what we are allowing in the eye gate and the ear gate, because what we'll do is begin to create this false sense of having the form of but denying the fullness thereof. We will begin to do that and
Power. Ooh.
create an entire individual that we are not. And now we begin to be in alignment with how we talk, with what we wear, and it's not us. And then we tap into who we really are, and we lose folks. We lose friends. We
Right.
lose mentors.
Right.
We lose relationships because we showed up with this representative that was not us. So we have to get away from social media
I love
and
that.
begin to dig into the real stuff that tells us what our worth is, right? That's what we should be doing.
Yes. Absolutely. 100%. And you know what? I just was watching something the other day, and there is a new app that is geared towards teenagers, but it's called Be Real. And on that app, you're not allowed to wear makeup. You're not allowed to use filters and lighting and all of this. So even the babies are getting to understand that if it's not used right, social media is not the answer, because even they want to be real. And I cannot tell you how many young girls have sat in front of me and told me that they had to take a break because they were getting anxiety because everybody's life looked like this and was so good, and all these girls look like that, and nobody liked my post. And even adults are coming in and saying, I put this post up and he didn't like it. So I was like, oh, well, what? And I'm like, I have to be very careful because my face is like a book.
Right.
So I'm like, poker face, put on your poker face. Okay. But it's so true. It's so true that we and even grown folks are like, Trip, you and I, no, this is funny, because as we say this, you and I actually met on social media.
Yes, we did. Yes. And that's why I say social media can be a positive. It can be beneficial for things such as this.
Yes. So Tam, my girl Connie popped in, and I want to introduce y'all. Connie says she's sliding in to say, hey, I'm glad to catch the second half. Connie, I was looking for you, girl. Connie has a book, and I'm gonna mess it up again. Her book is Post. Connie, help me. Type it in the chat. What am But Connie's book is also, I think it's Post-Warfare Divorce. So you have, I hope I got it right, Connie, let me know. We're gonna check in with the folks out here right now. So Akila B. Oh, I love that. Akila B, like Akila and the Bee. Hello, darling. Embracing self, and that's your sister. I love it. Hey, sis. Embracing self and purpose is mandatory. Dope. I love that for sure. Connie says, Tam, you are dropping gems. Absolutely. Oh, my girl, Raciel. Good word. My Lord told me to put on a pedestal and do not step down off of it for anyone. Yes, he put me on a pedestal. Absolutely, Raciel. Absolutely. That beauty sends me a prayer every day, and I just love you and thank you for it. Florence says, yes. Hey, Wayne. What's up, darling? Heart back at you. Thanks for tuning in. Connie says, I love it, Raciel. I just love these folks. Guarding those eyes, eyes, gates, and ear gates. Come on. I like that too. Let's be real. And Kimberly gave us a great big old amen. So the thing is, and what I love too is when you are who you are, and I call it when you step into your who you are-ness, because I like to make it work.
I like that.
When you step into your who you are-ness and you are living in your God-given, God-driven purpose, then people are drawn to you. But what I
Yes.
also love is when people recognize other
Hmm.
people who are your people. And that's kind of
Yeah.
how I met, because a friend said, "Oh, I think you're going to like this girl. You should check her out on social media." And right then and there at the table, at my dining room table, she pulled up your page. And I was like, "Ooh, yes. Ooh, yes. Ooh, yes. I loved everything you were saying." And so I slid into her DMs. That can be a good
Hmm.
thing too.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
I said, "Hey, Queen, I love what you're doing, and I'd love to talk to you, and I'd love to have you on my show." And she said, "Yes, let's talk tomorrow." And I love that. Intentional again.
Hmm.
And then when I found out about the denim date night, I
Yeah.
said, "Ooh, do you have enough speaker?" And she said, "What you gonna talk about?"
Hmm.
And I said, "Mindful
Hmm.
intimacy." And she said, "What is that?" And I don't know what I said, but I told her. And then I got to
Yeah.
be a part of that event, and it was magical. It was amazing. And
Yeah.
so with that event, that was in June, was it?
June. June. Yes.
June.
The
So
end of June.
what is going to be your next event?
I have so much going on. But, so I am a part of this movement called Rise Girl Rise, which is a part of the book Life After Divorce. And we've been doing a book tour, started in January in the city of, in Texas. And we've gone to a couple of states, but we're doing the culmination of the book tour for this year in November in Las Vegas. And so,
Oh,
yeah, that's going to be a big deal. We're actually looking for some men speakers to come in and be on the panel. We're going to have an all-white event. It's just going to be a really classy event where we are just showing that there is life to live even after divorce. A couple of the ladies have remarried. This is the anthology that I led, but a couple of the ladies have remarried. Yes, some of them are in relation. Some of us are in relationships, and so it's just going to be freaking amazing. So I have that going on. I'll be kicking
wow.
back on my online course, Reclaiming Peace Within the Pieces, for divorced women or women that just have experienced bad relationships or any relationship, because I think we
Mm,
can, it can all blend together when we talk about how to effectively cope and how to get to the foundational pillars of healing and
mm,
those type of things. So I have that going on as well, and I'm working on a very big event called Before the Veil and the Vow. So that's a singles
ooh,
event where
about
we're gonna
that.
just we're gonna dig into who we are and what does it take, what does it look like to be the wife, what does it look like to be a husband, and everybody's point of view is completely different, right? But I want to
Absolutely.
provide a platform where we're comfortable and able to come and say, I want to do the work to get there, but what does that look like? Because mama and daddy did
Yes.
what I saw. I'm gonna scratch my head
Uh,
on that,
yeah.
right? It did,
Right.
what worked for
Right.
them may not work for me, right? And as a woman who was married for 14 years and in that relationship for 20, many of those years I tried to paint the picture like my parents' marriage was, right? And I was off.
Mm,
I was off because I had these goals that said, well, my daddy did this, so sir, you need to be doing this. And my mama did this,
mm,
so I'm going to do that, right? And that's not it. The foundation of marriage will be always be the same because it's how God created it, but each household has to
yes.
be a cookie cutter. You have to create it to work for you.
Right. It's like putting on a jacket or a coat that doesn't fit, and it's
Right.
uncomfortable.
It's
It's
uncomfortable.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I love it. So when is your say it again, Veil and the Vows? When is that event?
Before the Veil and the Vow. That is going, I'm
Before the
looking for
veil.
the end of this year. I don't have the exact date, but I'll make sure that I share the information with you, your audience, when I do get that. But they can go to my website that's being updated right now. It'll have all of that information on it as well. Or follow me on social media. I'm always telling you what I'm about to do.
Yes, yes. And we're going to get that. We're going to get you to type that in a bit, but I want to see what else they are saying out here. Step into your who you are-ness. I love that, Michelle. Thank you,
Yeah.
Akila. Kimberly said, like most things, social media can be an amazing tool, but also a bad one. It all depends on how it's being used. In my opinion, when people look to social media for validation is when it goes south.
Yeah,
Absolutely. So
absolutely.
true. So true. Yes, I found love after divorce and it's an amazing relationship. I want to connect. My fiance is a divorcee as well. Yes, yes. Connie, did you type the title of your book in or did I get it right? Oh, here it is. Hey, Tam, post wherefore.
No, post
Post
divorce.
divorce where war. I can't talk today. Read it, Tam.
Post
You say.
divorce warfare, the ultimate betrayal. I like that title. I'm gonna have to grab it.
Isn't that
Is
amazing?
it on?
Yes.
Is it on Amazon? I'm
Yes,
sure
it
it is.
is.
Okay.
It
Okay.
is. And I think
Awesome.
kind of you put your info in social in there too, because I think we can get it from her too. So I want to show some of your other books, if you don't mind.
I don't
So
mind.
this is also, let's go this way.
Yeah,
Life After the D.
that's my
And
baby.
he said, oh, I love that. I picked
Yeah.
these up at the event, and here we are. I go this way. The Marriage
Mhm.
Policies and Procedures. Now, where can we find these amazing books?
They're all on Amazon as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, very, very
Or
nice.
if
Very
you
good.
want a
So,
signed copy, I have some, on
okay,
home at home. I can sign it and mail it off to you. We can work that out as well.
I love it. I got mine signed. Y'all see that? So Tam, I
Yeah.
really have to get you two together because yeah, y'all need to talk.
Okay.
So Tam, what is something that you want to leave the people with today?
Hmm. So if I was talking to an audience of married people, so I'm going to give you what I would say to a married couple or a married
Okay.
audience, a audience going through divorce, and an audience that has completed the divorce process. So to the
Oh, go ahead.
audience who's married, I would say to you to make sure that you are continuing to be a teacher and a student in your marriage. Always be willing to learn who your spouse is becoming and to teach who you are becoming, because just because
Mm,
you were attracted to something when you said I do doesn't mean it's going to stay the same. And if we continue to try and feed that same need from 2 years ago, 1 year ago, 5 weeks ago, right, we may set ourselves up for failure that will lead us to the place of divorce. For those of you that may be going through divorce, I want you to be encouraged. I want you to understand that you're not a failure. I want you to understand that it is a journey and it's not just a process. It's not something you just arrive to. There is work that has to be done. And I am challenging you to do the work, whatever that may take. And if you need help, I'm here to hold your hand in that process. But to those of you who have
yes.
shifted into gear where you have already completed divorce and you're like, now what? I want you to understand that there is life after divorce, and I want you to live
Mhm.
it loud. And whatever that looks like for you, because my loud may be real bright green, yellow, purple, blue, and your loud may be black and white. But whatever your
Yeah.
loud is, I am asking you to release yourself and give yourself permission to live it.
I love that. Bam, just drop the mic. Uh, thank you. Thank you. And you know what? I love that you said teach who you are, because
Yeah.
so much of the time is spent thinking that, well, they should know. And no,
Yes.
they shouldn't. How would they? And
Mm-hmm.
besides which, if you're doing your job, you are constantly changing and getting better and better and better. And if I think I heard somebody say, if you stay still, if you stay still, if you stop, you're dead.
Mm.
Yes. And if
Mm-hmm.
you're not
Yeah.
growing, you're dying. And
Yes.
so let's continue to do that in our relationships, in our
Yeah.
friendships, continuing to take it to the next level. I love it.
Absolutely.
I do. I really love it. So if somebody wants to reach out to you, Tam, so that you can help them take it to the next level, where are
Absolutely.
they going to find you? And I'm going to put it in the chat right
Yeah,
here.
absolutely. So you can go to the contact section on my website,
Okay.
tamarajohnson.net, or
I'm
You
typing
can,
crazy.
okay, or you can email me at makeitrise2015@gmail.com. And just in the subject, just say, hear from Sean LeRae's show. Hear from the boss talk,
There
right?
you go.
Let me give you a little love, right? Yeah,
What is
absolutely.
that? Make it rise. Give me the numbers again.
2015, 2015
2015. Okay. At Gmail.
at Gmail. Yes.
And then the website is
TamaraJohnson.net. Mm-hmm.
Johnson. I would never get a job as the court reporter. And TamaraJohnson.net. All right. And what's your IG?
Make it rise.
Let me put the little at. Violet. Now we're going to put that up. So y'all take a screenshot. Did I spell everything right? I done good.
Yes, you did good.
So get that information. If you feel like Tam has said something to you today that resonated with you, that you want to explore further, that you want her to clarify any of that, or if you just want to say, hey girl, what's up? Oh wait, I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave that up. Yeah, go ahead.
And also included in that, because someone may say, well, I'm good. I've gone through divorce. I've went through the process. I'm also here as a maintenance package, right? I'm a firm believer that we have to have a maintenance package, and that will be created and designed according to the individual. So, I would love to do that as well.
Absolutely. I love it all. So I want to say something that I think is important to say. I think as women, it is important that we collaborate and that we lift one another up. Yeah. And so I'm a licensed marriage family therapist, right? Yeah. So I could be like, nobody talking about marriage, nobody talking about relationships can come on here. But that is so not what it's about. It is about collaboration. Collaboration crushes the competition. That's what my coach says.
Oh,
and
I
love
good.
that. And so isn't that good? Isn't that good? And so I am so grateful to learn, write that down. Yes. To learn from you and to connect with you in this way. And we have collaborated once. I am excited that we will do it again. I am sure. Absolutely. And Tam is coming to our event called Dating from the Soul. Yes. And so for those of you who have heard me talk about that before, we have solidified another date. It is November the 13th. And so I want you all to reach out, because it's going to be an amazing event. It is from 8 to 5. We got breakfast and lunch for you, and tons of tidbits about what it looks like to date from the soul. We're going to talk about what was the craziest thing you ever did in dating. What was the best thing that you've ever done in dating? We'll give away some prizes. We're going to do some mindfulness to set our intention for the day. We're going to have a spoken word artist, Moon. We're going to have a spiritual healing dance. We're going to talk about dating from a place of loving, knowing, and accepting self. So it's just going to be a yummy day. And at the end, we have a panel of men who are going to come on and talk to us about just what the whole dating thing looks like for them, and what made them pop the question, what makes them, pull back, like all the goodies that we need to know. Yeah, and so I'm excited. And I'm excited for Tam to be in the house, and for any of you who are out there that want to go. Yes, kind of got her screenshot. Absolutely. Raciel and Kimberly says, I absolutely love this. Tam must join us for our event in October. Oh, yes. We'll talk about that offline, but Kimberly is doing an event, and it'll have a panel discussion. And so she's inviting you to be a part of that panel. And she and I have a meeting. Is it tomorrow? Friday morning, to talk about that. So I will let you know.
Okay,
so I just want to thank you. I want to thank you so much. I want to put your info back up here in case somebody missed it.
Can I invite your viewers?
Absolutely.
So I'm co-founder of a nonprofit organization called Beautiful Minds, and we are hosting October 2nd. So I hope that event is not the same day, but
No.
October 2nd. Okay, we are hosting a fashion focused business brunch, a fashion focused business brunch. We'll have vendors, so there's going to be vendor opportunities. We're going to have sponsorship where people are going to speak 3 to 4 different topics about building your business. And so Beautiful Minds is a nonprofit organization where we are helping and encouraging female entrepreneurs build in their community and in their business, right? And sharing their wealth, what it is that they do, how they got there, how they maintained it. And we are just excited about being a part of building, so if there's any female entrepreneurs out there that's in the city of LA or the area of LA, we'll be hosting that October 2nd. You can reach me at the same locations here, and thank you. And we will be making sure that I get you the information, the flyer and all of that, but it is going to be amazing. The event is going to be amazing. All of the events have been amazing, but I can honestly say I think this one right here by far is going to take us to another level.
Oh, I love it. Let's go to the next level, y'all. And I love the name of that organization, Be Beautiful. Did I spell it right?
You sure did. Be Beautiful. Be you, because everyone else is taken. Be
there
you.
You go.
Everyone
That's
else
right.
is taken. That's our slogan.
That is right. I love it. I knew it. Perfect fit. Absolutely. Well, girl, listen, it has been such a joy to chat with you this evening. I'm so glad we got to do this. And you go and celebrate that baby girl.
Yes, my baby's 18 today.
Yes. So you want to give her a shout out for her birthday?
Shout out to my baby Imari Johnson. She's about to go off to college. She's a dance major. She's actually leaving next week, going to Cal State Fullerton. And today is her 18th birthday. And I am so proud of you, babe. I'm sure she's watching. I'm so proud of you. I love you. And we're about to turn up.
Y'all want to turn up, y'all. All right, Boss Talkers. Thank you for tuning in once again tonight. And we are so grateful to have you. So please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. This show will be available so you can go back and get some of those gems that Tam was dropping this evening. And we will look forward to seeing you again next week when we find out what it's like to use art for healing. Yes. So I love y'all, and you know what to do. Live loved and shalom, y'all. This is Boss Talk signing off, and that's bold, one of a kind, sensational superstars, and that's you. Good night, y'all.
Good night.